All right. What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I is, the good doc, Dr. Mike, back again, once again with another classic, interesting live stream for you guys today. Sincerely hope everybody is blessed. Sincerely hope everybody's having a good one. Apologize for keeping you guys waiting, but Doc had to make sure that he took care of some work first before he came back. So whenever you guys decide to come through and show some love, make sure you get the likes up on the video. Doc would highly appreciate that. I'm not going to waste too much time. Let's go ahead and get into it. Likes up, caress, molest, and distress that like button. You know what it is. Guys, want to check out the masterclass? All that above is all listed below. All right. So without further ado, let's not mince words and let's go ahead and rip this one off like a band-aid. Now, before I begin, I know plenty of people will probably be an advocate for not getting married in the Philippines. Okay, I get it. I get it. There's a lot of people that say, why you want to get married anyways? Bachelor for life. Woo woo. Yeah, I got it. I got it. I got it. But for those individuals who are considering, maybe thinking about it, let's give them a chance to have this. All right. But again, I know that many of you guys are not an advocate of getting married in the Philippines at all. I expect it and I expect to hear it. But for those that do have it in their minds, at one time or another, they may consider it. I want to talk about how long you should potentially wait before making such a decision. I repeat, I want to talk about how long you should potentially wait before making such a decision on whether you want to get married or not. All right. But first things first, you know how the good doc does. Everything normally comes with a story. So before I get into it, I want to share with you guys a quick story. All right. Let me bring it up real quick because I have a screenshot that I want to read verbatim to you guys. So just give me a second. Okay. So a friend of mine wrote me the other day and he said, Doc, how do you interpret this message? So he sent me the message, and I shit you not, I kid you not. This is exactly what the message said. And this is the message verbatim. Okay. It says, do you have a plan of marrying me, or are you just playing on me? Not playing with me, but Filipinos have a tendency to say, are you playing on me? So let me say that one more time. The message clearly said, do you have a plan on marrying me, or are you just playing on me? Now, I was shocked to read it. And so I had to ask him, I said, how long had you and this young lady been talking? Because I expected it was at least a year or so to hear this type of talk. I was expecting they were at least talking at least a year or so. He said it would be just 1 month and a couple of days from now. Within the time that he sent the message, he said it only been 1 month that we were talking together. And I started laughing. I started laughing because I knew that Filipinos had the ability to work fast, but marriage questions in the first month or so was definitely something that made me a little bit skeptical. He explained to me that she was a single mother of one, so that's definitely something to note. And he told me a whole bunch of other stuff, which basically brought clarity to the situation. At least it brought clarity to the situation for me. I felt that she thought he was a good, decent, genuine person. Maybe she had been played before and just wanted to know now if he was thinking about marriage or just playing games with her. Obviously, foreigners are known to be playboys and all of that shit in the minds of most Filipinos. So I was assuming that, I just assumed. I guess she just assumed that he was playing a role. So you guys know how the game goes. Filipinos are known for thinking of foreigners in such a negative light. You have Filipinos who have said seriously negative things about foreigners in the past, and we cannot overlook the fact that that definitely has a bearing on how some Filipinos view foreigners. Okay, let's be honest. So I told him that if he was going to respond, he should definitely respond like this. I said, you should tell her that, you want to take things slow with her because you want to make sure that everything takes place at the right place in the right time. Again, if you're going to say such things to a young lady, if you need to respond to the message, I told him you need to tell her that you're going to take your time. You want to take it slow and you want to make sure that everything will take place at the right place and right time. Now, whether that time comes to fruition or not is not up to you. It is not up to me. It is up to them and everybody, God, whoever they talking to, right? But ultimately, we have to ask ourselves this, all right? This is what I want you guys to take from this. Ultimately, we have to ask ourselves, when is it the right time to go for it? If we are considering marriage, okay? For those that are considering, if you're not even in the idea or it doesn't really tickle your pickle at all, this has nothing to do with you. I promise you, it has nothing to do with you, okay? But Basically, it does talk about when is the right time to actually consider, not saying to get married, but the right time to consider getting married. And if you ask me personally, I say that you should never pull the trigger. Never pull the trigger unless you have physically lived with your significant other for no less than 6 months. Okay. No less than 6 months. I'm not saying once you hit the 6 month mark of physically living together with one another that you have to say, okay, let's get married. No, 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 no. At the bare minimum, before you even consider or even have the talk about considering making this girl wifey or giving her the last name, at least a minimum of 6 months. All the conversations you can have on and off time may seem good, but then you realize you can't stand her when she is constantly in your personal space. These are things that you have to take into consideration. I know a lot of guys who say, oh man, this girl's the love of my life, man. I love her to death. We have good conversation. I mean, we talk all the time online. We do this all the time online. Then when they live with them after a month, they can't stand her. They be like, damn, I wish this bitch would go somewhere. I've had guys who have told me this. And that's why it's so funny to me. I'm like, bruh, I said, everything is all well and good when you're not spending a significant amount of time with each other. Once you guys have literally lived within the same place in the same space for a significant amount of time, you'll really realize if you can actually stand being around this person. Trust me. Trust me, I know. I love my excuse me, I love my girl to death, but god dang it, sometimes she get on my damn nerves. I don't care what nobody say. You can love somebody to death, but sometimes they get on your nerves. Like you just like, damn, bitch, get away from me. I know I've had those moments. I'm sorry, part of my language, but sometimes you just want to kick them to the curb, like, girl, go somewhere. But it can't be that way all the time. You understand? So you have to know how much you are willing to put up with her and being in the same place with her. And I think that only after 6 months you'll be able to make said decisions. Also with her, also when you're with her consistently, it will test her loyalty if she's real because she can't run off and see other men or whatever when you're around. So you can see if she's really true to you, at least in the moment. Let me say that one more time. When you're with her consistently for 6 months at a time, it definitely puts a test to a woman's loyalty. She can't run around. She can't really do anything that she wants to do because she is required to be underneath you all the time. It's not like you're going to just let her go out and do what she wants to do by herself. What's the point of being a couple or being in a quote unquote relationship if you're just going to let her run off and do these things by herself? You feel me? So again, there's questions to be asked, and I promise you, it'll test the Filipina's loyalty to you. If you're with her for a significant amount of time, she can't really run off and do as she pleases. So she has to be with you. I think you can see a change in the demeanor and the attitude of a person if you're required to be with that person for a said amount of time. Let's be honest. Sometimes I like to be by myself, like I said. But I feel like if a person is literally trying their best to try to separate ties with you, like, oh, I want to go do this. Can I go do this by myself or whatever? And she doesn't want you to be involved in anything that she's doing, that is definitely something that you might want to question down the line. Just throwing these thoughts out here, okay? Just throwing them out there. I think basically that you run a risk if you choose to date and see her on and off and on, and then marry her, and it's not what you thought it was going to be. But you guys let me know, man. I'm definitely interested to hear what you guys have to say. You let me know how you feel. How much time do you think you need to commit to before marrying or even considering marrying a Filipino? That's my question to you guys tonight. How much time do you think you need to commit to before marrying or even considering marrying a Filipina? Because, I mean, come on, man. This is what we do over here. This is how we flex our muscle. A lot of us are interested in the idea of being in a relationship, at the very least, with a Filipina. So how much time do you think needs to transpire? How much time do you think needs to pass before it gets to the point where you're like, damn, I could really see myself with her long term? I mean, at the very least, if you're not going to marry her, how long do you think it should take before you decide to make her the serious long term girlfriend? All right. That has been the Good Docs moment. Let me go ahead and get to this chat real quick. I got a lot of things opened up on my browser. So again, I appreciate y'all coming through. I see we got 26 watching. Make sure all 26 of y'all caress, molest, and de-stress yourself all over that like button. It wants it, it needs it, and most definitely has to have it. For those that want to support the Good Doc, please feel free to do so. But of course, I am happy and humbled that you guys choose to spend just a little bit of your time with me today. Now you're then, let's get to it. Shout out to my boy MD. He says this topic is going to be good. I hope you're enjoying it. Marriage after 1 month, I'd probably run for my life. Yeah, me too. I think the skepticism of an individual or a female trying to, get at me after a month, it'll definitely make me skeptical. Like I said, man. But then again, like I said, in that particular situation, she was a single mother of one, and she had been quote unquote played by a foreigner before. So before she considered making anything serious, I guess she just wanted to go ahead and catch that man's intentions from Jump Street. I've seen it happen. I've heard of it. So it's not uncommon, but definitely something to take into consideration. Again, the fact that she was a single mother may be a little off-putting to some, but let's be honest, there are a couple of gentlemen out there who are like, you know what? I don't care if she got a little baby. I mean, shit. Especially if they're not looking to have kids of their own. If that baby is old enough to, walk, breathe, and you ain't got to change no diapers or nothing like that. I mean, I wouldn't overlook it. But then again, it is not for everybody. All right. Shout out to my boy Mr. Smith. What's good with you? John Doe, what's good with you, bro? My man Reggie Coleman, what's good? Dr. Mike, this is a good topic. We met only a month and she's already talking marriage. Sounds like Steve got a plan for you. Like I said before, if you don't have one for her, she'll definitely have one for you. Oh, yes. Filipinos are very, very, very good at planning ahead of time. That's the one thing I've learned in my experiences dealing with young ladies that come from this particular ethnic background. These ladies don't play games, people. And I mean, to each their own. You got to respect it and you got to respect the hustle, people. If you don't have a plan for what you got going on with you and yours, she'll make a plan for you. She'll make a plan for you. All right. My man Smooth Wrist, what's good with you, homie? He says, hey, what's good, fam? He said it's easy to get whipped after paying them bar fines. Two kids, those sweet lips. Hey, man, a lot of people, their attraction or their reaction to certain Filipinas and the thought process behind the women that they get with and the women that they choose to see themselves with long term. It's very interesting to me. It's very intriguing. I often tell people, like, I often look at relationships and I'm like, damn, I mean, she cute though. I get it. Like, I see why you're interested in her, but you're already thinking about meeting the parent, like meeting her parents and, bringing her back home and shit like that. And you ask them how long they've been together, and they tell you, man, we only started talking like maybe we started talking before, maybe for like 2 weeks. And then I've been with her for probably about a month now. And I can feel that this is real. I mean, damn, I've known Filipinas to put on an act for a very long time, people. Not saying that she's acting, but you gotta be willing to read between the lines. You gotta be willing to understand that, a woman who works as fast as she does, you know, I've never known a Filipina to have good intentions asking to get married within the first month of meeting. I've never known a Filipino with good intentions to ask within the first 2 months, 3 months about marriage. I've never known a Filipino with good intentions to ask about marriage anytime before the 6 month period. Just gonna throw that out there. All right. I see Gogo. What's good with you? He says, well, according to a Filipina, they will marry you tomorrow. So answer is we'll marry next day. The answer is the answer for the foreigner should be never. That's how long. But then again, like I said, you have to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. All right. Everybody deserves the benefit of the doubt. What's good with you, Pedro? Shout out to my man Chris, repping my home city and home state. Great state, North Carolina. What's good with you? My man Thomas Traver, what's good? I hope Angeles is treating you well, my friend. Have you found any future brides out there in Angeles City? Please let me know. Press 1. All you have to do is press 1 if you found. I'm talking to my boy Thomas Travers in the building. He's out there in Angeles City. I'm thinking and I'm asking my man himself, have you found a potential bride in Angeles City? Please press 1. Huh? Telling you, man, you might turn around and want to marry every single lady you see in Angeles City, but I ain't mad at you, Playboy. Appreciate you coming through and showing love to the good doc. Lizzie, how you doing, baby? I hope the U.S. is treating you well. Hope everything is going well. My boy Chaz in the building. Appreciate you coming through, family. John, you say wait 100 years. Yeah. Wait until after death to get married. But to each their own. Everybody has an idea of even considering. And the reason, here's the thing that I think. Some guys, those that have never been married are probably thinking about marriage, but those that have been married, divorced, and they're probably the least likely to consider getting married. But the one thing that you guys do not take into consideration is the fact that we people too, men need men, no different than women. We need love too, people. Come on now, we all need love. Let's not sugarcoat or act like this doesn't exist. Sometimes we want to be with somebody to take care of us long term. Sometimes we're willing to lock down a young lady to take care of us long term. sometimes. And even if you've been through bad situations, I've seen a lot of guys, even on YouTube, I've seen guys who have been taken advantage of, taken to the ringer by your average Filipina. And I mean ladies in general, but just so happened his previous relationship was with a Filipina. Okay, got taken advantage of. He go back to the Philippines. He falling for the same shit all over again. Sometimes, gentlemen, we never learn. So let's not act as if there aren't men out there who will drop, who will fucking put a ring on that finger like it ain't nothing. Let's not act like that. All right, let's not act. Shout out to my boy San Juan. He says I might turn into Hussein Bolt on that ass. True that. Sometimes we gotta run the other direction. Again, you ain't talking that nonsense at the 1 month mark and expecting everybody to be on board with it. That's true. Mm. My man says it's a desperate Filipina looking to be rescued. Yeah, that's definitely something to take into consideration. Like I said, young lady, she did have a child of her own, and I think that she was willing to basically push the narrative. The situation is different. Let's not sit there and believe that everything is going to fall into the same category of disparity. Like I said, I say 6 months. I'm gonna just give you a number, and that's my number. Shout out to my boy Big Brother. What's good with you, man? He says, I think we often trip over culture divide, dating ad infinitum. Okay. Or for the sake of dating is Western. For some culture, dating equals courting equals marriage. At least that's the intention. In the Philippines, that's true. That's true. In the Philippines, that is 100% true. That is 100% true. Filipinos think, okay, this guy is gonna court me, and then eventually, once we date for a while, it's gonna lead to marriage. That's what they think. So you shouldn't be surprised if a Filipina asks you about marriage, because they expect if you're gonna date a long term that that eventually you must be considering possibly, maybe marrying her down the line. You feel me? So I agree, big brother. That makes sense to me. John Doe, not everybody's dumb and simping, but we all have to deal with those situations every now and again. Again, I'm telling you, I hear the stories all the time. Sometimes I bring them to the table, sometimes it's not worth it because it's like beating a dead horse. Again, you guys already know that you're gonna deal with some foreigners that are definitely not willing. How can I say this in the most respectful way humanly possible? We have some guys that don't think through situations very well. So they often ask questions to me or other YouTubers or people that they trust to give valid insight into their particular situation. So when I see it and I examine it, the funny thing is you can tell them how you see it, but at the end of the day, they're still going to do exactly what they want to do. Correct me if I am wrong. So I can tell you all day long, I'm not sure if you should pull the trigger on this. I'm not sure if it's a good move for you. Maybe you need to sit back, relax, and wait a little bit. It's not going to hurt you to just chill a little bit. But then again, in certain situations, you got the Filipina, got the Filipina, got the Filipina. Let's say that one more time. You have the Filipina putting the pressure on the foreigner to make that move. You understand? And it's weird though. It's so weird. You would think that in the Philippines and places like this and all of that stuff, the foreigner has the advantage, but sometimes you have the Filipinos putting the pressure on the foreigner. Like, what are we going to do about this? Where do we stand? And these women have every right to ask these questions now. They have every right to ask. But when you're put on the spot, and I shit you not, come on now, when these men are put on the spot about, oh, yeah, are you gonna marry me or what are we gonna do? Like, where are we going with this? When they're put on the spot, that's exactly when relationships end. You can see a foreigner. I can tell you right now, Doc is not the only one who sees this shit. You see a lot of these guys in these YouTube videos that be dating these girls for a long period of time. Next thing you know, you turn around and she's poof, gone. She's no longer in these videos. Everybody's asking you, oh, what happened to so-and-so? Oh, what happened to so-and-so? Basically, so-and-so probably asked about marriage and you was like, not happening. So she just cut up and bust the move. Let's be honest. So, you know, you have to sit there and look at the situation from the outside looking in. You're basically thinking, man, yeah, you're asking me about marriage. How am I supposed to respond to it? You ain't got a response. You're pretty much just gonna have to let that relationship go, especially if you're not planning on marrying her anytime soon. That's one of the things. As much as I am not admitting to this, all right, I am not admitting to anything when I say this. I want to say this one more time. I am not admitting to anything when I say this, but this is why I don't really fault some guys for dating around. This is why I don't fault them, because the last thing that you want to do to a Filipina is get their hopes up, okay? I'm not a big fan of you long-term dating a Filipina if you have no intentions for her. You feel me? I'm not really with that shit, because I kind of feel like that's a bold move to drag her into a relationship, stay with her for 5 years, and then just kick it to the curb. I said, that's rough, bruh. Can you imagine if somebody said, yo, man, I'm going to give you this promotion. I'm going to give you this promotion. I'm going to give you this promotion. And after 5 years, they just fire you without getting a promotion. You understand? Think of it like that, people. A lot of people don't understand where the good doc is coming from. But let me repeat that one more time. The way that you guys drag on relationships with Filipinas without the intention on marrying her is kind of messed up. And again, that is the only exemption that I have for guys who choose to date around. If you make your intentions well known and marriage is not in your future of any time, I can't be mad at that. But for you guys who drag these women into these relationships long term, trying to convince them and promising them BS that you're not going to give them, and then all of a sudden 5 years down the line, you like, I'm not sure if this is going to work out. Then y'all break up. You've wasted 5 years of that woman's life. Like I said, it's no different than a person promising you a promotion for 5 years, and then after the 5-year mark, they just fire you. You know what I'm saying? That shit can't be legit, man. Y'all gotta really think of it from that perspective. That's the way I look at it. You feel me? So again, man, we got 34 watching, man. Y'all make sure to get the likes up, man. Doc is out here putting in that work today. I'm really trying to give you guys the best of me tonight. So again, make sure you guys get the likes up on the way in. Eddie Jackson, you are 100% correct, man. Doc is going to burn this bitch down tonight. Shout out to my boy Frederick Mason from the great state of North Carolina. Much love to you, family. My man Eddie says the minimum of 2 years of living with her. It takes a solid year to peep her real characteristics. You're right. You say a solid year. I said 6 months. That's I say 6 months before you even think about it. 6 months of living it. 6 months of living it. Charlie Sullivan says 6 months to a year, maybe. Black Torch said he's never getting married. I agree. After a month or two, the guy should be on to the next girl. John, you said it yourself. This ain't no bleeding heart shit. Let's keep it real, man. We have to keep it real with one another. If you have no intention for that girl, then you good. See, John, let's be honest. The way that you explain your particular situation, you only got one in the Philippines. You feel me? So that's how the same rules apply. You only got one in the Philippines. You got one where you are, stateside, and one in the Philippines. You're not jumping from gun to gun, to chick to chick. When you're in the Philippines, you stick to the one you got and you keep it real. Now, that's your long term, apparently. So it's not as if you're trying to do long term with her and then 3 with a couple of other chicks. So, that's just the way I see it. If you focusing on just one at a time, wherever you are, then that is not the same situation. That's a whole totally different situation. Shout out to my boy Terry. He says 4 years before you even consider getting serious, especially if you're not in the country full time. Yes, you have to be in the country full time if you're going to make it work. My man says, have a Filipina that already had a kid. Yeah. Eddie Jackson says, when a man falls in love, he develops a love blind spot. It takes time for the prefrontal cortex to rearrange or re-engage. The average guy needs a solid year or two to really see her for who she really is. No doubt. I agree with that and I respect it. Black Toy says, I'm never going to take another man's chick or another man's child. Yeah, I probably wouldn't either. It would be hard for me to do that one. All women have a hidden agenda. Eddie, that's funny, man. I agree with you, man. You can't be too blind or blinded by the punan. That's the best way for me to put it. So again, you guys are probably right. I said 6 months of continuously living, but you're probably right. A year or more before it really sets in and sinks in. Like I said, everybody's gonna agree to disagree, and everybody's numbers are gonna be different. 36 watching. I appreciate y'all coming through. Somebody give me a like counter, like to dislike counter, because I can't see it. I'm sorry. Can somebody help me out with that? My boy Big Brother says some food for thought. How come traditional marriages that are arranged with less dating time seem to last way longer than modern days with years of pre-marriage dating or pre-marriage dating? If you really just want me to give you an answer, it's because these prearranged marriages are in countries where divorce doesn't really happen very often. That's the way I see it. I think with prearranged marriage, it's more so in countries where divorce is almost impossible to get. You understand? Like India, those Middle Eastern countries, these are definitely harder places to even engage in divorce. So my man Black Torch, I appreciate you. My man, so we got 23 likes, 38 watching. Y'all making me feel bad about myself. My man MD says, for me, it has to be at least 3 years. It took me 6 years before I married my wife. Touche, my G. Do you think? There are plenty of Blasian women in Angeles City, man. No doubt, Black Torch. I've seen that myself when I went there 100 years ago. My man says maybe getting married might not be the best. Maybe never getting married might be the best option. Maybe the best option for some, not the best option for all. All right. My man Charlie Sullivan said I've been with mine for 3.5 years, going on 4, and I'm thinking about marriage later. Touche. Like I said, man, if you don't have it in your thought process right now, you're just kicking it, enjoying your time with your young lady. I respect that. You know, I can never disrespect that. Sometimes it takes time, people. Sometimes it takes time. My man Black Torch says if you need companionship by a dog, you stupid. But that's funny. I do agree. Sometimes you just need that animal companionship. But come on now, we all need a little bit more than just that. But if you want to marry somebody, you know, that's definitely a hard commitment. My man Danny says, don't think with your little head and he said, don't think with your weenie and expect a winner. I agree. You can't think with a small head and expect to get a champion Filipina for you. I got you. Like my man Eddie says, y'all got to get the likes up, bro. Shout out to my boy Rain, man. I see you. My man Charlie Sullivan says, I've been with, oh, I read that one. Marriage later when I'm ready for that full-time commitment. No rush. My man says, if dating is good before marriage, how come you're not married? Because I'm still dating. I'm still dating. That's why I'm not married yet. That's the best way for me to put it. Joshua, what's good, man? He says, I had a girl talking about wanting children after 48 hours of meeting her. Maybe she just wants your contribution to a beautiful baby, I guess. I don't know. Shout out to my man, NY Mets fan. What's good with you, bro? Much love to you, man. My man Danny says, if you're young, don't get involved with the Filipina. That is not going to help you with life, making bank as well as bed. True, you should never date a young woman. I say you, whether you're young or old, never get with a young lady that you have to support 100%. If she can't bring nothing to the table, it just makes the situation dangerous. My man MD says, take off the cape no matter how much she wants to be saved. If she can't wait at least 3 years, let her go and find someone else. I'm with you on that one, my G. I appreciate that. I appreciate the comments. My man Charlie says, none. I only give her what she needs when it's needed. She works and has a bank account, and I had to teach her how to save money. I'm sorry, man. With Filipinos, you definitely have to teach them a couple of things, okay? Definitely have to teach them. Definitely have to teach her. My man David, what's good with your family? He says the only reason why she would ask you to marry her so fast is because she wants to get that green card. Jedi, what's good with you, man? My man on that here, what's going on, man? He said meet her in person first. Oh yeah, you definitely got to meet her in person first. No doubt. I'm with you on that 100%. And you got to take your time, man. Got to take your time. My man Black Torch from Brooklyn, New York. I see you in the building. I see you, man. Jedi, you're 100% correct, my G. You got to let them know from the start what you want. I've met a lot of guys who have dragged these chicks through some serious relationships, and I can't really blame them for getting mad at these individuals for doing that. I mean, like I said, I'm not caping. At the end of the day, it has nothing to do with caping. It has everything to do with the fact that, damn, man, they people too. Days people too. Gotta give him the benefit of the doubt. All right, my man Terry says you should wait until Dr. Mike get married before you even consider getting married. So look before you leave, bruh. I've been in a relationship so long, y'all gonna think that I am tripping for what I'm doing, but I do what I have to do. Again, can't hate the man. Nola boy, what's good with you, man? He says, in my opinion, it has to be at least 2 years just to see where her head is and keep the family out of your business. It's going to be hard to keep the family out of your business in a 2-year span. Everybody gonna be asking when you getting married. You know how that game goes. It's been the same. That's a train of thought that never goes away, man. Never goes away. Mm. My man Daniel Tanner, what's good with you, Joji? How you doing, baby? She says, I've been dating this guy for over a year, only to tell me he doesn't want kids. Damn. He didn't tell damn, baby. He didn't tell you that in the beginning. You should probably ask a guy. I hate Joji. I'm gonna be honest with you. As far as foreigners are concerned, especially if you're talking to me, you should have the conversation about kids quick. I understand that females, they don't want to jump the gun or ask those questions early on in a relationship. But you need to let him know, at least see where his head is. Like, do you even want kids, or you don't want kids? So at least at the very least, if y'all are on the same page. I mean, shit, the worst he can tell you is not give you an answer. At the end of the day, he'll probably give you an answer. He'll probably like, nah, I don't want no kids. And then if he does, then hey, what can you do? John Doe, you are disgusting. How dare you womanize? That's funny. Shout out to my man Quentin Willis, man. Long time no see, my G. Appreciate you coming through. John, I can't play with you tonight, bro. You stupid. My man Danny says, number one, don't get me the family. He said, don't go meet the family. Stay away from the family at all costs. If you can avoid it, yes, man, stay away from the family. Family is dangerous. You don't want anybody interfering with what you have. Because I promise you this, for the most part, that family will likely ruin, and I mean ruin, the relationship. Let's keep it real. I think family ruins relationships. Anybody considering being with a young lady long term, sometimes the family getting involved, whatever it may be, I'm telling you, it seems to never end well. I think once you meet the family, what ends up happening is what? Oh man, I can't see myself with this chick at all. That chick bugging. Her parents already asking when we gonna have kids and whatnot. Like, come on, bruh. Filipinos know that by now, but sometimes they don't. So again, like my man did. We only met a month ago and she already talked about marriage. So how long should you wait? How long should you wait? How long should you wait? I think you guys are definitely on the right track. If we're not talking years, then we're not even talking. I think 6 months at the very least consistently living together before you even consider long-term dating. And that sounds funny. You live with somebody for 6 months and then you start thinking about if you want to be with her long-term. There's a lot to take into consideration, a lot of variables, a lot of X's and O's, man. You got to make sure that you do what works best for you. All right. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You have to do you have to do what you have to do, and you have to do what works best for you. All right. I see we got 35 watching. I can't hold on. Let me check my like to dislike counter because this is gonna be funny. So it looks like we got 26 likes and 1 dislike. For the person who disliked, thank you very much for that. That means that you got that I'm actually talking about something where people disagree on. I fucks with you. Thank you for that. All right. So, Hemi, you say I'm wrong. He says, if a girl ganks my stuff, I need to know where she lives. The girl who's really slob would tell me where they live. I must know where a girl lives before she stays with me. I would hope that you would. I mean, I hope you would know where she lives. I'm not saying that you should move a girl in and you not know about her. Come on now, damn. I mean, you should have at least gone to her place once or twice, not necessarily to meet the family, but at least so you have an idea where she lives. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Come on. Everybody should know where their girl live. I got my girl's address. I knew her address. I knew where she lived the first day we started talking. Matter of fact, I walked her back to her boarding house. That was back when we really started dating. And then I visited the family probably about. I went to her house for Christmas for the first time. Yeah, I told you guys that story. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying that I know everything that needs to be known about a young lady before I put myself in a position to get taken advantage of. And I think you should too. You know what I mean? Everybody should do that. So Joji says, we had a conversation about kids and he said, sure. Then after a year, he decided he doesn't want to. Oh, Joji, I'm afraid to ask this question, Joji, so I'm not going to ask it. If it's too personal, you do not have to answer this question. But have you and this gentleman ever met in person? I'm just asking Joji right now. Y'all just sit back, relax. I'll wait for her answer. But I want to know, did this man ever meet you in person, or did he ever come to the Philippines at all, or was this just a conversation that you guys had over chat or over the phone or something? I'm just curious. And then I'll ask the accompanying question. My man Anasier, what's going on? He says, I think things should be cleared out from the start. True. Talk to your Filipinas people. Things turn out to get complicated the longer you drag them on. Yeah. I mean, how can I mean, I'm saying you should get to know your girl first before you start bringing in family members and all that other stuff. You should really get to know yours truly first before family becomes a situation or an issue. But then again, I'm not against what you say. And the reason that I'm not against it is because you need to know what you're getting yourself into. I know somebody wanted me to do it. I don't know if it was you, my G. Don't get me wrong if it's not. But somebody wanted me to do a topic on, knowing family drama and knowing family situations out the blue, so that you know what you're getting yourself into, so you don't have to deal with family drama. I would have done that topic, but I think that I was trying to find the best way to approach it and I didn't find it, so my bad. That's why I didn't get to it. But I do remember somebody asking me to do that topic, so I don't think that I'll be able to make it happen. Joji, you said yes, you did meet in person, you had this conversation. Shit, I'm sorry, there's no easy way to ask this question. But oh my god, how am I gonna how can I say this, or how can I at least inform you in a nice way about what I want to say without coming out and sounding all brash and rude? Because that's all I try to be nice about this one. Okay, Joji, I'm gonna ask you a question real quick. I'm specifically talking to Joji. I'll just sit back and relax for a second. Let me get my question out and I'll let her answer it. I gotta ask this in the right way. Okay. Okay, so you met this foreigner in person, okay? Um, uh, shit. I think you know what I'm trying to ask. I think you know what I'm trying to ask. I think you know what I'm trying to ask. Were you and this gentleman ever like, together? Best way for me to ask it. All you have to do is say yes or no. Or give me a wink or eyebrows or a press one or some shit. And then I'll give you further synopsis. I'll give you a free one today. This one's on me. Uh My man Nolan says, Dr. Mike, he said, what about if the kids come before the ring? Is that an issue or not? No, because Filipinos have kids all the time before, out of wedlock. That shit happens so often. It almost reminds me of being back home sometimes. People have kids out of wedlock all the time in the Philippines. Now, in reference to the family and stuff like that, family's gonna really be like, "Oh, you need to get married now. How dare you bring disgrace to the family and all of that stuff." You'll have that particular issue if you really care for the young lady, but shit happens over time. It'll plan its way out if it plans its way out. My man Hemi says, Dr. Mike, what happened to Terry? I'm not gonna give my speculations on Terry. Black Torch. I'm hey, no, I ain't assuming shit. Okay. I want to hear the answer. Again, Doc doesn't assume anything. Come on now. I said no, I need the answer from the young lady first. This one's gonna be on me. I think everybody's probably thinking the exact same thing. But if the answer is yay or nay, I want to know. And I mean, I'm not trying to be like I said, if I can get the answer, if she doesn't, then so be it. But you could pretty much generalize an answer after that of what happened. I wish I could invite Terry on the show, man. Shit, I love Terry. It's my guy. I don't care how you feel about Terry. Eddie says some guys don't want to have kids with someone they think won't make a good mother. Yeah, Eddie, I agree. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you in my own personal thoughts. Okay, this is how I'm gonna say it, and then I'm gonna let it go. Okay, John, you stupid. This is how I see it, people. And ladies, you take note of this. All right. This isn't uncommon knowledge. I mean, this is something that is advantageous to everybody involved. I'll put it to you like this. For example, if I know that a Filipino wants kids, If I know that she wants kids, this is just a man mindset. If I know she wants kids, I'm not going to tell her that I don't want kids. If I'm able to accomplish getting from point A to point B and I'm good and I'm accomplished, 9 times out of 10 after that, a man allows himself to be truthful. So with that being said, a man can come to a relationship talking about this kid talk. He gets what he wants to when this whole epiphany hits him and he no longer wants kids. And a lot of guys do that shit. And it's sad and it's messed up. But a lot of guys will say, you know what? If I can finesse this for as long as I can by convincing them that I want kids and then I get what I need and then I can tell her that I don't want kids, then what? Then what? Because a lot of guys manipulate situations like that. And this shit's fucked up, man. It's not right, but it's real. Joshua, I don't know, man. I've been trying to find. He changes his channel name all the time, so I don't know how to find him, bro. But some guys are like that. That's just the hypothetical. But anyways, man, we got 36 watching. I appreciate all 36 of y'all coming through and showing love to the good doc. Make sure y'all caress, molest, and de-stress that like button. It wants it, it needs it. Most definitely has to have it. All right. You guys want to check out the masterclass, everything you should need, ebooks, everything listed in the links in the description area below. Guys want to support the channel, please feel free to do so. But of course, the good doc is happy that you guys show up and spend a little bit of time with him today. Now you're in den. All right. Are we back to our regularly scheduled programming? I'm just saying, man. I know guys that are lie to get some, okay? That's just what I'll say. Right, man. My man Terry changed his channel name every other week. I'm like, damn, I couldn't keep up. So I don't know where to find him at. Are you serious, man? Black Torch, we went 30-1. Did I lose my dislike? Am I tripping? Nah, he's not BSing, man. I lost my dislike. Somebody finally decided to change it over. Small world, people. I gotta read comments, man. I'm losing it. Yeah, I've known guys to lie over some nonsense, so that's why I don't really believe anything a person says as far as I can throw them. So, I don't believe him until the action occurs itself. So, man. Oh, my man Terry says, Dr. Mike, what happens if you get 2 Filipinos pregnant at the same time and don't want to marry either of them? I don't know, man. I just pray that never happens. Not to me. Not to me. If you get 2 young ladies impregnated at the exact same time and you don't want to marry neither of them, your average spineless foreigner probably say, let's go back home or let's go to another island and pray to God that they don't find me. But, if you're a man of your word and you want to be a part of your kid's life, then what do you think's going to happen? To be honest, it's really inexpensive to take care of a kid in the Philippines. I mean, I'm being real with you. I've seen people raise kids on very little per month. So I think that you gotta take that into consideration. I think that most guys who don't want to raise kids and marry these Filipinas, they change islands. That's the quick move, you know. But I would hope that you would want to do better for yourself and you would want to you would want better for you. But then again, like I said, we got some guys out there who do the quick move, man. They do that juke like they're Barry Sanders running in the Super Bowl and they jump ship. I mean, I can't really get with that program, but I mean, that's what they do. If they don't want to get married, especially if they don't want to have kids or they're not interested in taking care of them, that's what they do. But it is relatively cheap to actually take care of a child in the Philippines, I will say that it's not as expensive as people think it would be. Definitely not as expensive as the US, no doubt in my mind. You guys are awesome, man. Like I said, 36 watching, that's a good number. I can agree with that one. I can play with it. I appreciate it. I didn't want to be on with you guys too long tonight. As you can tell, the throat is acting up. Still trying to get my thoughts together for my live stream Friday night Eastern Standard Time. It should be going, and it should definitely it was definitely one of them. Yeah, it's definitely something I'm focusing on. So y'all gonna get that work, man. Don't worry about it. but I should be coming on Friday night. Joji, if you're listening, baby, all I want to do is just put that bug in your ear. All right, that's all I want to do. Like I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there in the atmosphere. How you choose to interpret it is up to everybody else. This isn't a drag or a bag on anybody. It's no attack or anything. I just want you to know that some guys do not have a Filipina's best intention at heart. A lot of guys, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna be honest with you. A lot of these guys will lie to get into a Filipina's panties, pretty much. I mean, I've known plenty of guys who have done that. I mean, plenty of individuals who have lied to get into a Filipina's panties. Ironically, in my whole 10-year experience, I cannot remember one time that I had to lie. I can't remember one time that I've actually had to tell a fib or stretch the truth to, get from point A to point B. And now that I'm in a relationship, I mean, it's hard for me to lie. It's hard for me to lie now. So, I mean, it's different out here, man. It's just hip. It's just different. Mm. It is just different. All right, let me read comments, man. I was waiting for y'all to comment. My shit be going late. Eddie, I'm just being honest, man, because I see it in everybody. I don't believe none of you motherfuckers at all. I just don't care. I know what happens. I know what life was like before Dr. Mike was saved. I said, yo, before I got saved, before I rededicated my life, life was a little interesting for me. Hemi, that's $1 million question. I don't know what my girlfriend reads, man. She'll let me know if she finds some comments offensive, but most of the time she don't really care for my chats. So she may be here, she may not. It's up to her. But most of the time she don't really care. My man Harry says, in SoCal, we have a huge Filipino population. That's true. He says, I've seen more than a few black men married to Filipinas that are 30 plus years and above. Yeah, a lot of guys marry Filipinas, man. It's all good. It's very good. I mean, I respect it 100%. Michael Smith was good with you, man. It's okay to be late, my G. We all here just having fun, man. Girls do lie too. You're right, John. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and act like Filipinos are so innocent, but again, I don't know which is worse though, man. Let's be real. Let's talk about this for a second. You can sit there and have this big debate on who lies the most and all of this stuff, but ultimately, if you lying to get some, or I don't know. I guess you can say that some Filipinos lie to get something out of a foreigner in the form of, oh, somebody's dying, and oh, somebody's sick, and oh, I got bills to pay. They might stretch the truth on that. Foreigners would be like, oh, I'm gonna marry you, you gonna have my baby, and all of this stuff. So I guess in the sense, as long as you find a common ground and meet in the middle, what can I tell you? What can I tell you then? I mean, I don't know. Don't know what to tell you. You can have this conversation about, you can have these conversations all the time. Oh, somebody's cheating on me, somebody's scamming me, this, that, and the other. But ultimately, it does go both ways, people. It goes both ways. Everybody lies. I mean, John, you're true. It's factual. Everybody lies. I think foreigners should be able to pick out the lie probably a lot faster than a Filipino would. In my personal opinion, depends on how good you are at lying. Depends on how good or how sorry you are at lying. I think foreigners pick up on a Filipina's lie before a Filipino will pick up on a foreigner's lie, because all this talk about having babies and children and shit, now you're appealing and appeasing to a part of the brain inside of a Filipino that's captivated by the idea of having a half foreign child, or fascinated by the idea of marrying a foreigner and having the opportunity. So if they know in the back of their mind, oh man, he's thinking about marrying me. Oh, maybe I have to do this. Maybe I have to do that in order to keep him so that I can make sure that he marries me. You feel where I'm coming from? Filipinos are more likely to commit to the thought process before a foreigner would, But hey, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna dwell or dive in too much deeper on that one. But I think you understand where I'm coming from. My man Hemi says, Dr. Mike, I'm going to break a stack of cash. You said I'm going to bring a stack of cash for your vacation. Have fun, my friend. all I can tell you, man, have fun, get tested frequently, use condoms, and try not to get anybody pregnant. That's the best advice I could give you. But probably get tested. That'll probably be at the top of my list. Just make sure you get tested. All right. Good luck to you, my friend. If it works out, so be it. But can't sit there and say that I condone said behavior. But a lot of people come here and do that nonsense anyways. My man on that says, yeah, it looks easy to talk here, but doing this and that, trust me, in person, things get tricky, especially when it is good. Yeah, it's hard to kind of hard to get over it when it's real good. My man Nola Boy says a friend of mine has this problem, two baby mamas, and I'm going through the headache with both ladies because I'm close to both of them, and my Sawa is giving me the blues on this drama. Yeah, it sucks. Everybody wants to drag you into their situation. You know, when you're close to people, everybody wants to include you. It's a cold world we living in, man. But it's all good. Big Brother says also P9 is about 30 years or older think they are too old and will try to get married and have kids as soon as possible. So be mindful if your girlfriend's clock is ticking this fast, or so you think. All right. Shout out to my boy Trent Knight, man. Long time no see, my G. Appreciate you coming through and showing love to the good doc. Y'all make sure y'all get the likes up on your way in. I appreciate that. A lie is a lie. Doesn't matter who tells it. Terry, I'm with you on that one. But you got to realize that everybody wants to believe so and so lies more than so and so. Not always the case, man. You said the guy has to believe her lie to get her to spread, and then he pays her. Depends on how you look at it. Good times, man. Yeah, like I said, everybody is on their own bed. Like I said, man, it depends on how you look at it. Like I said, I don't know. Everybody's situation is different. I mean, when it comes honestly down to considering marriage, if that is where you want to go with this, if that is where you want to go with this, let's just make sure we note that. Like I said, you gotta give it time to develop. I mean, a lot of foreigners are so quick to say, 2 months I'm in, I'm married, I'm ready to get married. A lot of guys have committed 2 months in and got married. It's crazy. Again, this is definitely a strange world we are living in. People be like, well, when you know, you know. No, sometimes you don't know. You understand? So, again, ladies and gentlemen, just definitely wanting to put that energy out there. And I appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you spending time with the good doc and, commenting. Definitely enjoyed reading your comments. It never gets boring here. I promise you. For some reason, spending time with you guys, it never gets boring because I expect some of the most outlandish, crazy nonsense to be spoken. But then again, I also expect there to be some rationale, logic behind thought, and definitely something that intrigues and stimulates the mindset. If you guys haven't noticed, Doc is all about stimulating the mindset. I say things and bring topics to the table that make you think. Whether you're interested or not, you have to literally defend your point for, why you shouldn't get married or why marriage may not be that bad or anything that I come up with. You got to defend your point. And you have to stay around it. You got to be wholeheartedly. This is like a debate. A very healthy debate, mind you, but a debate nonetheless. So my man Henry James says, I think if you use your common sense, take your time, lose the thirst, most definitely, and get to know a woman in the Philippines, you can find a good wife. No different than anywhere else. True. It's just scary because a lot of these guys losing the thirst is probably easier said than done, people. It's a whole lot easier said than it is to be done. All right. So let me go ahead and get my shout outs real quick before the good doc decides to call it an evening for my people over there in the Eastern Standard Time, wherever you are in the world today. Again, maraming salamat sa lahat. Thank you for being here. So I got to shout out my man. Oh, young lady, Antao. Appreciate you. He said the title is crazy. I was in a long distance relationship for 6 years before we settled down. Touche. Like I said, relationships, they take time, people. You say 6 years, huh? That's interesting. 6 years long distance. That's crazy. That's a long time. I know who you are. Shout out to my boy MD and wifey in the building. Appreciate y'all coming through. But yeah, let me go ahead and give my quick shout outs and comments and let you guys go on about your business. Again, anything that you want to leave down below, please feel free to do so. Hemi, much love to you. And I appreciate you being here. Henry James, I appreciate you. Much love. John Doe, I see you in the building. Trent Nightman, long time no see, my G. Appreciate you being here. Terry Edwards, my big brother from another. I see you. Nola Boy, much love to you, family. Joshua, appreciate you being in the building. I think Joshua is probably younger than me. I think in this chat, you're probably one of the youngest. You're probably younger than I am. Probably, I think you said like 24, 27, something like that. But shout out to you, man, and I hope that you enjoyed your trip to the Philippines. Hope to catch you on the rebound, people. Shout out to my boy Black Torch. Appreciate you, Onasir. Always a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed the Booty Loot Chronicles. I sincerely hope you did. I enjoyed writing the book. I just hope that the people enjoy reading it as much as I enjoyed writing it. Michael Smith, I see you, family. Appreciate you being here. Never late to the party. It's always a pleasure. Eddie Jackson, appreciate you coming through and dropping that knowledge, my brother. MD, always a pleasure. Tommy's Philippines journey. Appreciate you being here, Rain Man. All about the robust, you know what's good. See who else we got in the building. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get all of y'all. Just wait. Just wait. I'm gonna make sure I touch everybody in the most inappropriate way humanly possible. Joji, what's good with you, baby? Appreciate you being here, and I hope that I can catch you on the rebound. We can forget that this conversation ever happened if that's what it requires. Who else we got in the building? Again, guys, make sure you guys get the likes up on your way out. Appreciate that. Danny Gordon, man, much love to you, man. I know Danny's got his life to live, man. Appreciate y'all being here. Charlie Sullivan, my boy Chaz in the building. I appreciate you. Quentin Willis, man, been a minute. Excuse me. I hope you're doing well, my G. Hope to see you guys on the rebound. Definitely. Jared is cool. Jared, you are cool in my opinion. Thank you for being here. Daniel Tanner. Always love my G. Jedi, appreciate you coming through and showing love to the good dog. Thank you guys for being a part of the show and a part of the team. This channel wouldn't be anything without any of y'all. Okay, let me see who else we got. I'm gonna get these shout outs real quick. My boy David Webb, I see you. I'm gonna let you go on about your business. If you've already gotten your shout out, you can feel free to leave at any time. NY Mets fan, appreciate you being here. If I miss your name, leave it down at the bottom. I'm gonna pray that I didn't miss anybody. My boy San Juan Davila, what's good with you, bro? My man Tyrell Two Guns, appreciate you being a part of the team. Appreciate you showing love and commenting and, you know, being here. Frederick Mason from the great state of North Kakalaki, I see you in the building. Reggie Coleman, appreciate you. Lizzie, love you as always. Appreciate you. Thomas Travers, shout out from Angelese. Hey, man, Thomas didn't answer my question. I'm kind of hurt by that. I'm butthurt over that. My boy Chris Lewis, all the way from my great city and state. Shout out for J. Cole in the building. That's my favorite rapper of all time. Pedro, much love to you, my G. Go with the name change. I see you, my dude. If I missed your name, Mr. Smith, I see you. And of course, my man MD. All right, guys, damn. That was a lot of y'all. I didn't know that many of y'all showed up. I don't know if y'all should have showed up. I didn't know that many of you showed up and commented, but I'm gonna get it right. Let me scroll down to the bottom. Make sure I didn't forget anybody. Hold on. Give me a minute. Okay, my man Eddie Jackson says Filipinas are such good women. Just be kind and they'll be nice to you. Touche. Trent Knight says Dr. Mike Cowboy Nation all day, every day, Super Bowl. You killed me with that nonsense. You can miss me with that BS, bro. And that's it. I'm glad you enjoyed the book, man. That was my favorite book. Joshua said he's gonna be there in February. Hope you enjoy your trip. Pedro says he's gonna be down in 2.5 weeks. We're gonna turn up, my G. Definitely, fellow traveler. Much love to you. Nah, it's okay, Joji. Don't worry about it. Don't even listen back to it. You can holler at me in the email and I'll explain it. Doesn't matter. All right, ladies and gentlemen. My man Nola Boy says thanks for the SNR plug. I was looking for something like Sam's Club here. SNR is the place to be, my G. I don't know if I told you that or somebody else did, but you know what? It has been fun, ladies and gentlemen. Sincerely, it has. And it has been real. But you know what time it is? It's time for the Good Doc to go. So with that being said, the Good Doc is officially out. At least nako paalam, which means I'm going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace.